Hey guys, hello, it's me, Bets Golden. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a whole mess of glare going on, don't I? It's kind of overcast outside, so I can't really put anything on here to stop this glare, but we will just work with it. I shall put that there. Maybe that will help that right there. So today I want to show you guys this really cool card, and it is a magic picture changer card. So I'm going to show you how to make this along with the dimensions that you will need for this card. It's super easy, believe it or not. My son is so mesmerized with it. He's like, can I take that to school? I said, you can have this card. So let's get started. What you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of acetate paper that you have cut down to 4.25 by 5.5. That's the first thing. Go ahead, set that aside for now. You're also going to need a piece of just like regular type cardstock that you can stamp on, and you're going to need about a 1 by 5.5 piece of cardstock as well. You're going to need to make yourself a little tab or something. I'm just going to use this 2-inch tab from Close to My Heart on some red paper to match it. So boom, that's done. And we actually can go ahead and fold that in half and get that ready in just a minute. And then the other thing you're going to need is you're going to need to take a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, any color that, hello, hi Tamara, we're going to make a magic picture. I totally just, it went dead on me. That was so bizarre. Okay, so I was showing you that we're going to make a picture. All right, so we have our paper we're going to stamp on. We have our 4.25 by 5.5 piece of acetate. Then we also have a little 1 by 5.5 sheet, and then a little tabby that we're going to create. The next thing you need is you need to take a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, any color you want. I'm using white. You're going to cut it down to 10.5 by 10.5. Once you cut it down to 10.5 by 10.5, you are going to take it, you're going to score it at the 5.5 mark right here. Okay, so excuse me, did I say 10.5? I did. I said 10.5. 10.5 by 10.5. So you have 10.5 to my square. Da 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 da. Yeah, the buffering is really bad, and I don't know why. Let me try opening my door. Sometimes that helps. My hotspot looks like it's working. I apologize. Don't know why it's doing that. All right, so once you do that, you're going to measure it right here at the 5.5 line, score it, and then you're going to score 3 inches on this side all the way down, flip it over, do 3 inches on this side all the way down, and then you are just going to trim off these two pieces. Then you're going to use whatever shape cutter you want for the inside of your card. I used a square. You could use a circle, whatever you want. And now you are ready to go from here. So your inside measurement is 4.5 by 5.5. To create the card, we're going to actually stamp this first using a stamp press. I'm using something that's no longer available, which is the Stamp Perfect. Misty or the platform, the Tim Holtz platform would work. But to do this, you don't want that to show through, because that is going to be what you have to keep that white. So I am just taking this and just folding it up like this, and I'm going to just stamp it on here like so. So my stamped image will come through on this, but it's no big deal because of how we're going to assemble the card. So I just folded it like so, and then from here I am taking this stamp set by Joy Claire. It is the Ugly Sweater Background Builder. Sorry, that shine is bothering me. So the Joy Claire background builder is a lot of fun. because you can literally build your own background, and you can do it in a couple different colors or whatnot. And so I am just going to take and kind of line it up. I think I'll do this one for this. And I just start to just line up the different backgrounds on it, like so. And I just keep getting it lined up. Hello, hello. Until I get to my liking. And then the top up there, just going to use this narrow one. All right. You could alternate and do different colors on this. I'm just going to do the straight up green on this just because for the sake of time, you guys, I don't want to be here trying to alternate this colors on you. So I'm just going to be using some Catherine Puller grass skirt. If you're interested in the Catherine Puller and the stamps and stuff, I do have it listed down below for you. So I'm just going to do this. And I really love her ink because you only have to do a few taps and it goes on beautifully. So I'm not going to use a magnet on this per se, so I want to make sure that I line it up fairly well at that 2-inch mark so I know that I get it right. And then obviously I need to re-ink that there. Didn't do a very good job, which is fine. Again, I'm at that 2-inch mark. And since this is folded, I do want to make sure that I'm a little bit careful with it, and I did get some on my hands. All right, so we're going to call this one good for now. It's not the best because it is, you know, I am doing it live and whatnot, but you just want to make sure that you line it up well, because if you don't, you're going to have issues with it. So we'll still use that for now, but you know, my sample, I would like to keep that in mind of how that should look and could look if you line it up properly. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to this is what I want. Oh my goodness. I spent all day coming up with this today, you guys, and I'm not with it yet, clearly. All right, so let me just get this over here off out of the way because I am going to need to use this stamp platform once again. All right. So now we need to start to work on our card on the inside of our stamp. And that again, we're going to start with our acetate paper. And we're going to need some StazOn ink for this because it has to be something that is going to hold. Like I have to keep it, you know, it has to go on the slick surface. And so acetate really is the best. I'm going to remove some of this. I'm using some antibacterial soap on my hands just to get that Caterpillar ink off so I don't smear it everywhere because I got super sloppy with it. All right, so for this, I'm going to use this stamp set, which is the Christmas coffee. And for the first picture, I just want it to be the coffee mug, like so. So I'm going to try to line that up in the center to the best of my ability. And then once I get it lined up, I'm just going to pick this up. I'm not going to use a marker on this because I mean a magnet, because I can pretty much just bounce it in that corner. I'm going to use Stays On Jet Black on this, and it's going to dry relatively quick. It has to be a fast drying waterproof type marker, and these are the minis. I do like Stays On my acetate. And then we're just going to stamp this image on first, like so. And I'm going to do it one more time. Well, I think that's okay. Yeah, that went through okay. And then from here, I want to take my white cardstock and I'm just going to trade places with it. So I'm going to set it right down there. And now I'm going to use my Intense Black Simon Says stamp pad. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I get this cleaned off with my Stays On ink. All right, so for this one, just going to pop on this, and this is going to be for the other portion of my card. There we go. I give it a nice rub. Really, really nice image on that one. And then I need to go ahead and do the inside of the card. So for the inside of the card, I'm going to use this poinsettia. I think that this one's really pretty. And again, I just have to line it up. You don't have to have a platform for this. In fact, the first one, the sample that I made for you guys, I did not use the platform. I eyeballed it, and it actually worked really well. So you can totally eyeball it. It takes a little bit more effort, but it's not horrible. Okay, so it looks pretty good. And then for this, I'm going to use the Rockin' Red. And if I have to do it again, it's okay. That's a pretty good image. Let me do it one more time. Hopefully that buffering got better, you guys, when I opened the door. I'm sorry about that. All right, perfect. I'm loving that now. So pretty. I love these Catherine Puller inks. I can literally wipe it and we're done, and we can go away from there. Okay, so from here, I want to actually stamp a sentiment on the front of this. So I'm going to just take this off for a moment, and I'm going to stamp some of smoke. I'm going to do like a little steam off of it in the smoky gray Stays On ink pad. Or so I thought. There it is up there. So I'm just going to lay this out over the top like so, and grab my smoky, it's Cloudy Sky. Leave that up pretty well. Boom. And you'll be able to see it really well in the white. Okay. And then from there, I want to go ahead and stamp a sentiment on the inside, and then I'm going to show you how you can assemble this card. So for my sentiment on the inside, I want to have a cup of Christmas. So I'm going to have a cup right there. And again, I'm making sure that this is in the corner. When you line it up in the corner, you don't have to worry about it, you know, sliding around or not getting perfect alignment, because you just literally line it back up in the corner. It's so easy. I'm going to use the jet black again in the StazOn, like so. That turned out really nice. Love how that image turned out. And that is a StazOn cleaner that I am using. And then I want to do Christmas on the bottom. I'm going to do that in the claret. So I'm going to do that down here, like so. Pick it up. I really think that platforms are a must when crafting. I wish I had a Misty. All right, but I have the Tim Holtz one as well. That turned out really nice. So this is what this looks like so far. And this is our top layer. Now remember, I did get my fingers on that, so I'm gonna have to go through and wipe that off. That green. I don't know, it looks kind of cool too. Maybe we'll keep it. I don't know. All right, so I'm done stamping. Now we just have to assemble this card. And this stamp set is called Christmas Coffee, and it's by Joy Claire as well, just so you guys know. And so let me see here. All right. So that green came off fairly well. So to assemble this, what you're going to do is you are going to take this and you're going to need to cut it down so that it lines up absolutely perfect like this. I'm going to use a liquid glue, which is my art glitter glue. And I'm just going to do, because we're going to cover up this top. So I'm just going to do a bead right across like so, across the top. It doesn't take much. I'm going to let this set up and then we'll trim it down. And as we're doing this, we'll assemble the card itself. So we're just going to get that right there. You want it to be lined up absolutely perfect. Don't worry if you have some overage with your paper and stuff, because we can trim it up. It's not, that's like nothing. That's nothing to even worry about, you know. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. We're going to get this put together. So for the base of our card, we're going to open this up. And basically, you need to keep this clear. This has to stay white. So we're going to assemble this by putting this together. And how we're going to do so is I'm just going to take my glitter glue again, and I'm just going to run this down the side and like along the bottom right there. And I'm actually going to pull some of that up, because see, it's going to fold over and there's a little bit of a gap, so we don't want to glue that down. We need to leave that free. This has to stay relatively free, that inner piece. So I just need the back and the sides done, and this has to stay free so that we can put our picture changer in. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to fold it in half to create a tab. You can create a tab out of a circle, or even a little tab. It doesn't matter, but it just has to be something that can be used to pull the picture up. So again, just a little bit of glue right there. Give it some firm pressure. And now this should be dry enough in which we can start to trim this down. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer out. And I'm not done with that glitter glue. I'm going to still need it. And we're just going to trim this up. So for this side, it is coming off a little bit, which is okay. We'll just take that down. Like so. And we'll do this side. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. So. Then we're going to do the top. Now the top we don't want to get off because that's where it is adhered. So I want to make sure that I didn't cut off my glue on the top. Now I do go ahead and take off a little bit off of the bottom, just so that my picture, my Christmas, will shine through on the bottom. And then we are going to assemble this card. And so what we need to do is we need to add this to the back. So I'm just going to use some glue. I really like glue because I can slide it around, you know. And then I'm going to actually turn it on over and kind of put it flush down there on the bottom. I'm just eyeballing it, seeing if it's even. I need there to be a little bit on the top because we're going to take this right here. I am so sorry, Trisha. And this is such a good, this is like a really good card. That's so stinky that it's a horrible connection. I don't know if I have a storm going on or what. I am bummed though. Okay. All right, so now that we got our tab on, we will go ahead and put this card into the picture frame, so to speak. And so this is what the back looks like, and that's our little tab. So what you want to do is on the inside, you have this sheet right here, like right in there. So you want to have the color cardstock on the back that has the white cardstock with the color on the back and the acetate in the front. So now this is the trickiest part, is getting this in there. And now once you get it lined up, there you go. And now you have a magic picture card. Now, if you pull the thing out, you're going to have to line it back up and put it back in. So, but that is how you create a magic picture changer. You guys, if the connection on this was really bad,